Hello and welcome to Amazon Leadership Principles. Do you know that Amazon has 16 leadership principles? My mind was utterly blown when one of my Leadership Institute members at the Project Leadership Institute let me into this secret. There are 16, not one or two, 16 principles of leadership. And that's what we're going to take a look at today. We're going to try to see through the Amazon lens what leadership is. Before we do that, though, let's first of all explore some of the mindset that their chief visionary or founder, Jeff Bezos, has. I know that if I failed, I wouldn't regret that. But I know the one thing I might regret is not trying. Leaders never give up. Another great quote. Great industries are never made from single companies. There's room in space for a lot of winners. Wow. This just shows me that Amazon is truly aware of how leadership works. Being a leader in the industry means you got to collaborate. As my mentor, John Maxwell, says, no one ever does anything great alone. In order for you to excel and expand, you got to hang out with people. And check out this quote from Jeff talking about hanging out with people. Life is too short to hang out with people who aren't resourceful. It just shows you what is going on in the minds of their leaders at Amazon with all these great quotes. Here are the leadership principles. It reads, we use our leadership principles every day, whether we're discussing ideas for new projects or deciding on the best approach to solving a problem. It is just one of the things that makes Amazon peculiar. The principle that first hits you when you open up this page is customer obsession. Leaders start with the customer and work backwards. They work vigorously to earn and keep customer trust. Although leaders pay attention to competitors, they obsess over customers. Wow. This is such a great position in mind because it goes hand in hand with how the Agile Manifesto principles and values are structured. Remember, in the Agile Manifesto, we talk about customer collaboration over contract negotiation. In the Agile Manifesto, we talk about welcoming changes, even late in development. Why? Because of the customer's competitive advantage, because of the customer's business advantage. This is great stuff. Number two, ownership. Leaders are owners. They think long-term and don't sacrifice long-term value for short-term results. They're looking at the horizon. They're looking at what is beyond what is right in front of you for now. They don't obsess over the near term. See, they act on behalf of the entire company beyond just their own team. They never say, that's not my job. Number three, invent and simplify. Leaders expect and require innovation and invention from their teams and always find ways to simplify. They are externally aware, look for new ideas from everywhere, and are not limited by not invented here. As we do new things, we accept that we may be misunderstood for long periods of time. So when we think about Amazon, think about Prime, think about all the services they offer, think about AWS, think about the Fire Stick, think about the Amazon tablet. That is a lot of stuff that started from a garage selling books. This is the epitome of inventing, simplifying, and innovating. I love a quote from Steve Jobs. He says, innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. How true. Number four, are right a lot. Leaders are right a lot. They have strong judgment and good instincts. They seek diverse perspectives and work to disconfirm their beliefs. So this is showing you that a leader in their eyes is one who isn't just right. It's someone who seeks a diverse perspective and someone who works to disconfirm their beliefs. Wow. Do you know how much security that leader has to be able to do this? You know, my mentor, John, he says, only secure leaders give power to others. Only secure leaders welcome diverse perspectives. Number 5, learn and be curious. Leaders are never done learning and always seek to improve themselves. They are curious about new possibilities and act to explore them. It's often said the moment you stop learning, it's the moment you're going backwards. The moment you stop expanding is the moment that you begin to implode on yourself. So this is a great mindset. Learn, never think you've reached the pinnacle. Keep going, keep being curious, and keep growing. Number 6, hire and develop the best. Leaders raise the performance bar with every hire and promotion. They recognize exceptional talent and willingly move them throughout the organization. Leaders develop leaders and take seriously their role in coaching others. We work on behalf of our people to invent mechanisms for development like career choice. Wow. This stuff is blowing my mind. I am so excited to read this because one of the things I often say is it's one thing to hire the right person and put that person on the bus. It is another thing to seat that person in the right position on the bus. And it's another thing to say, we made a mistake. This is not the right position. Let's work to find the right position. Let's develop this gem that we have and position them for success. Amazing stuff. Number 7, insist on the highest standards. Leaders have relentlessly high standards. Many people may think these standards are unreasonably high. Leaders are continually raising the bar and drive their teams to deliver high quality products, services, and processes. Leaders ensure that defects do not get sent down the line and that problems are fixed so they stay fixed. Oh my goodness, this is agile all over. This is agile manifesto principles and values all over. Because guess what? When you go to the agile manifesto, if you haven't been there, let me take you there really quickly. It's on agilemanifesto.org. And when you get there, you find these agile values. But you know what? If you scroll down and click on 12 principles, you are going to find something that echoes the insistence on high standards. You know what it is? Technical excellence and good design enhances your agility. See that? Technical excellence. That's like insisting on high standards. Watch this one. The best architectures, requirements, and designs emerge from self-organizing teams. At regular intervals, the team reflects on how to become more effective. You see, all of this is quality. Working product being the primary measure of progress. This is mind-blowing and truly awesome. Let's move on to our next one here. Number 8. Think big. Thinking small is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Leaders create and communicate a bold direction that inspires results. They think differently and look around corners for ways to serve customers. So as opposed to just being comfortable, keeping the status quo, Amazon says, think bigger. Create and communicate a bold direction that inspires results. I love it. Number 9, a bias for action. Speed matters in business. Many decisions and actions are reversible and do not need extensive study. We value calculated risk taking. Oh my gosh, all my favorite words coming out here. Calculated risk. Understanding that there will be uncertainty, but there are times you just need to step out and take a calculated risk. Accept the uncertainty and do it anyway because you've calculated. It's not being reckless. So a bias for action, instead of just sitting on the fence, this principle makes you get up and do stuff after taking a calculated risk. Number 10, frugality. Are you surprised? How do you get to be one of the biggest in the world without a sense of accomplishing more with less? It reads, accomplish more with less. Constraints breed resourcefulness, self-sufficiency, and invention. There are no extra points for growing headcount, budget size, or fixed expense. You would have thought that, well, they got a lot of money to spend, therefore they don't really care about being frugal. This is leadership at its best because leaders don't squander what they have. You know what else? Leaders are also careful when it comes to doing what they do in a firm. And they do what they do because it adds value. Let me show you another fun one just to juxtapose, compare, and contrast with the Agile Manifesto right here. Simplicity, the art of maximizing the amount of work not done is essential. Don't you see a lot of parallels between these Amazon principles and the Agile Manifesto principles? This is why I'm getting so excited reading this. There are no extra points for growing headcount, budget size, or fixed expense. Number 11, earn trust. Before I tell you this one, I'm going to give you a quote from my buddy, John, who is my mentor and my coach in leadership. He says, trust is like change in a leader's pocket. With it, he is solvent. Without it, he is bankrupt. This is why you need to earn trust. Earn trust and keep it. Keep it like change in your pocket. Leaders listen attentively, speak candidly, and treat others respectfully. They are vocally self-critical, even when doing so is awkward or embarrassing. Leaders do not believe their team's body odor smells of perfume. Oh dear, that's quite a visual. They benchmark themselves and their teams against the best. In other words, when it is uncomfortable to come clean, do it anyway. When it is uncomfortable to say, this is no good, we made a blunder, do it anyway. Candor. This is another thing that another of the greats, Jack Welch, rest his soul, talks about. You earn trust by being candid, by being honest, by being respectful, and also being self-critical. Number 12, dive deep. Leaders operate at all levels, stay connected to the details, audit frequently, and are skeptical when metrics and anecdotes differ. No task is beneath them. In other words, don't be afraid of digging into the details. Sometimes you just have to dig into those details, because if you don't, it could hurt the entire enterprise. What this reminds me of is a principle of leadership from the Project Management Institute that talks about systems thinking, the ability to see the big system, how everything interweaves, and sometimes that's going to require you going down to the lower level in the basement. Number 13, have backbone, disagree and commit. Leaders are obligated to respectfully challenge decisions when they disagree, even when doing so is uncomfortable or exhausting. Leaders have conviction and are tenacious. They do not compromise for the sake of social cohesion. Once a decision is determined, they commit wholly. This is my kind of leadership. You know why? Because in a lot of companies, people hiding behind a fort, try not to come out and be honest and tell the truth. But this principle espouses being honest, being candid. If it's garbage, it's garbage, and you better say it. This is my kind of leadership. I love it. Have backbone, disagree, and commit. Number 14, deliver results. Leaders focus on the key inputs for their business and deliver them with the right quality and in a timely fashion. Despite setbacks, they rise to the occasion and never settle. Let's see some of these key words. Leaders focus on the key inputs and deliver them with the right quality. See that? Despite setbacks, they rise to the occasion. So when I look at deliver results from the Amazon spectrum there, and I come back to the manifesto, I see deliver working product frequently from a couple of weeks to a couple of months the preference to show the time scale. See, do it in a timely fashion. Don't let it go stale because there could be revenue loss. There could be the opportunities for these results to be relevant, just fizzling away. And you deliver a result, but it can't be used anymore. And you know, Amazon is always releasing anyway. Number 15, strive to be the Earth's best employer. Strive to be Earth's best employer. Leaders work every day to create a safer, more productive, higher performing, more diverse, and more just work environment. They lead with empathy, have fun at work, and make it easy for others to have fun. Leaders ask themselves, are my fellow employees growing? They are empowered. Are they empowered? Are they ready for what's next? Leaders have a vision for and commitment to their employees' personal success, whether that be at Amazon or elsewhere. Wow. It reminds me of the individual who said, what happens if we train these people and we suddenly hear they're leaving? What are we going to do? Maybe we shouldn't invest in them. No. This shows a secure company, whether at Amazon or elsewhere. I love that. So it's not just about adding value to people because they're going to be trapped in Amazon for another decade. It's about doing it anyway. I love it. Number 16, success and scale bring broad responsibility. We started in a garage, but we're not there anymore. We are big, we impact the world, and we are far from perfect. We must be humble and thoughtful about even the secondary effects of our actions. Our local communities, planet, and future generations need us to be better every day. We must begin each day with a determination to make better, do better, and be better for our customers, our employees, our partners, and the world at large. And we must end every day knowing we can do even more tomorrow. Leaders create more than they consume and always leave things better than how they found them. Wow. What a treasure trove of value nuggets for any company anywhere in the world. This is the right way to think. Instead of killing the environment, polluting the environment, think about how you can do things better. I love it. Leaders create more than they consume and always leave things better than how they found them. Those, my friends, are the 16 principles of leadership from Amazon. And I don't work there, but I've had a number of students who do. And this is just truly remarkable. If you want to check out these directly on the Amazon site, I'm going to try and put a link somewhere below. Let me know what you think about these great Amazon principles. Before we go, a few more quotes and statements. Let's take a look at another quote that we have from Jeff. And here is our last quote. If you do build a great experience, customers tell each other about that. Word of mouth is powerful. In other words, what's your reputation? I can tell you based on a number of books I've read on leadership, be it the Leadership Challenge, there's stuff in here in the Leadership Challenge that I see all over. You see, changing the status quo is one of the things talked about in this great book by Cousins and Posner. Learning from mistakes and successes, knowing that they're not perfect, envisioning the future, you know, enlisting others. I mean, it's all in here. Great stuff. I applaud whoever put these together for Amazon. More power to you. Let me know your thoughts. I'll talk to you soon.